If you are ready to get your small space kitchen clean and organized and put systems in place so that it stays that way, you have come to the right place. This is Shannon from Skip to My Life, where I love to teach you how to live an upscale lifestyle on a downsized budget. And this is my tiny kitchen in our 1,000 square foot rental home. Well, I want to save you a lot of time and frustration by helping you think of your food storage in a small space in 5 different zones. The first is the one that you probably use the most, and that's your refrigerated foods. Today, we're going to clean my fridge together. I'm going to show you how I do that quickly and easily. But first, I wanted to show you just how small this refrigerated unit is. If you're anything like me, you've cleaned out your fridge plenty of times, and my method used to be to remove everything at once, wash all the shelving and the drawers out, and then replace it all. And I just found that so overwhelming that I wasn't cleaning my fridge nearly as much as I wanted to. So I started cleaning it drawer by drawer and shelf by shelf, and it has made the whole process so much easier. You'll see me removing and cleaning my shelf liner, which is really just Dollar Tree flexible cutting boards. They come 2 for $1.25, and you can cut them to fit the specific dimensions of your refrigerator shelves. The goal to keeping our refrigerators and our cold food storage clean and organized is really to help us eat healthier meals, right? So I love to cut up produce that I use in smoothies and shakes and store them in these little Dollar Tree quart containers. Now, this is some kale that I had bought for smoothies, and if you're anything like me, I just hate the food prep part of making the smoothies, so I wanted to get that out of the way. And I decided with the remaining bits and pieces of all of those cut up vegetables that I'm going to throw them in a pot and make a really nice vegetable stock. Making your own stock is a great money-saving tip, and it's super easy to do. All you need to do is bring water to a boil, and then once you have it at that boiling temperature, turn it down to simmer and just let it simmer for about half an hour. Once you've strained your stock and it's cooled, you can put it in some Ziploc bags and throw it in your freezer for your next recipe. If you're new to Skip to My Life, a great big welcome to you. I am so glad we found each other. Comment below and let me know how we crossed paths. My husband eats mostly a keto diet, so we keep a lot of dairy and a lot of meat. And so this drawer has become a catch-all for both of those, but I found it really frustrating because it was always getting caught coming open and closed. So I finally decided to buckle down and get a system in place that really works. And part of that was finding the right containers for the space. You may have noticed that this is not a Pinterest-worthy refrigerator organization look. I have not spent a lot of money on lucite containers. Almost everything you see pictured here was purchased at the Dollar Tree because I have found that it's not as important the kind of containers you have as it is to have a system in place that really works for myself and my family. One of my main goals in organizing my refrigerator is to have healthy snacks ready to go whenever I'm hungry. And of course, whenever I'm doing a project like this, my dogs Franklin and Bella are not far away looking for scraps. The beverage holder on the right is from Dollar Tree, and I have learned that it is a perfect size container to hold a lot more than just beverages. Our primary marketplace is Aldi, and if you are an Aldi fan, comment below and let me know. One of my favorite gluten-free items there is the spinach wraps, and if you are gluten-free, I encourage you to try them. They're delicious. Last but not least, I'll be cleaning the door of my refrigerator, and once again, I'll be taking it one shelf at a time, removing everything from the shelf, wiping it down and cleaning it, and then putting items back. And as I do put them back, I'll be checking expirations, wiping off the lids and nozzles, and making sure that these are items we still really use. I purchased this condiment holder at a store called Daiso, but I know that you can also get them on Amazon. They just clip right on the door and they hold all your little packets. Our second zone will be frozen foods. Now this, I will be honest, has been my most frustrating area because of the size and shape of my freezer. It is vertical and very narrow and difficult to hold things. So I really had to rethink how I was using the space. Once again, the purpose for frozen foods is to encourage healthy eating. And so I decided to use this fridge soda can storage container, 2 of them side by side, to hold all kinds of pre-prepared smoothie ingredients. Now my second and third shelves will be for meat, and if you're like me and have trouble with things falling between those wire racks, simply take a Dollar Tree sign, turn it upside down, put it on that rack, and you will not have any issues. I think my favorite tip and hack is using this bottom drawer as a library for my vegetables. I have learned, instead of stacking them on top of each other, to stack them in rows so I can easily go through and see what I have. Now that the inside of the fridge and freezer are clean, it's time for us to clean the outside with this Bissell hand steamer. This episode is not sponsored by them, but I just really love this product and I am linking to it below for you. What I like most is that no solutions are needed. You can just steam off the stainless steel and wipe it dry with a microfiber cloth. Our third food storage zone will be for overstock, and these are items that you may run out of, and instead of flying to the market just to get 1 or 2 things, you'll want to have some extras. This little cupboard is extremely narrow and deep, and so I am using that area that's hard to reach as my overstock area. In the past, I've labeled these shelves and had the best of intentions, but it just did not work out well for me. So after rethinking, I am coming up with an easier and more doable solution. Comment below and let me know if you have an area of your kitchen that's like this, that's just really hard to reach and impractical to use. Once again, we're going to be using those Dollar Tree chopping mats, and I am going to cut them to fit my cupboards and use them to put those overstock items on. Now, this will make it easier for me to slide those items in and out, because in the past, they just got stuck in the back. But whatever you do, do not throw away the ends, bits, and pieces of these chopping mats. They make wonderful bookmarks for your recipe books. Make sure you watch all the way to the end of this video because I have a really important, really special bonus food zone for you. So now I'm just replacing things in that overstock area, and as I do so, I am taking a tally of what I have as well as the expiration date, and I'll be talking a little bit more about a tool that I have to help you do that in just a minute. Here's a closer look at that overstock area on each shelf, and I have divided them into liquids, condiments, and baking items. So now that we've taken care of this overstock area, we're going to talk about the rest of the cabinet area, which would function more like a pantry. This is going to be our main food supply for baking and food prep on a regular basis, and I'm going to teach you a little Dollar Tree hack that my husband actually helped me with. So you've probably all seen these little wire shelves, and I've used them in a lot of my cabinets, especially in my kitchen. But did you know that you can actually remove part of the wire from these shelves, and I'm going to show you how to do that, so that they will fit perfectly in whatever cabinet that you have. Now my frustration here was that I wanted to put a soup can on the bottom, but I wanted to have the maximum storage space on the top for my cabinet, and this is going to be different for you and your cabinet. It's unique to every kitchen setup. So my husband actually helped me with this tool, and I do not know what it's called, but it's a heavy duty wire cutter, and he removed just a tiny piece of that leg wire. Now I would say this is maybe 3/4 of an inch from this wire rack, but he helped me with that just because he has better hand strength than I do. He removed it so that it fits perfectly over the can, replaced the little rubber feet on that wire rack, and nobody's gonna even know that you cut it off, and it's totally custom to you for $1.25. Now, I was gonna pay a lot more for something that fit my cabinet, but there really isn't any need to spend more money when you can get this handy little guy from Dollar Tree and customize it perfectly for your cabinet. Items that come packaged in plastic can take up a lot of space in your cupboard, so try putting them inside a plastic cup and standing them upright. Well, now that we have this overstock area and we also have our everyday food prep area in place, how are we going to keep from forgetting what's back there where we can't see it? If you have a cabinet like mine, you know that this is the graveyard where good food goes to die. So I have come up with an idea for that one, and there are actually 2 additional printouts that I'm providing for you. And one of my problems in the past in getting organized is that I labeled everything. Actually can be helpful in some ways, but it can also be harmful in other ways, because if someone else comes along behind you, puts it in the wrong place, trigger for me, or if you decide you want to put it in another place, that's not a big deal, except you've got to go around moving all those labels. So instead of labeling my shelves, what I decided to do is come up with this simple cupboard layout, and I'm doing it in pencil so that if I want to move things, I can. This way, if my husband wants to know where something is, he can look on here, or he'll probably just ask me and I'll look on here. But secondly, if I forgot what is in that overstock area, I've got it right here. So I have a little sleeve protector up on my pantry door, and I am going to mount it on the back of this door. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right here. It's not fancy. It's not like any laminated thing, but it will work for the purposes that I need it to work for. The second thing I have, and I actually got this wet, so this is what it's really gonna look like in real life, guys, but I'm gonna provide you with a really nice, fun, pretty printable for your pantry. I went ahead, and as I was putting my overstock away, I made a note of the item and the expiration dates and how many I had. So these are all those items that are in that little food graveyard back there. This way, I don't have to scrounge around back there. I don't have to try and remember what it is. And not only that, but if I see an expiration date coming up, I can remember to go back there and use that item. You who are saying to yourselves, there is no way I'm gonna get that organized. This looks like too much work. That's okay. You do you, you do what works for you. But I'll tell you my motivation, and that is I am tired of overbuying at the market. I wanna buy what we need to make good, healthy, delicious meals, and no more. I want to use my money for other things. So that's my motivation. But if this just seems like a burdensome thing to you, modify it so it works for your lifestyle. And believe me, I did not get here overnight. It's taken me about 3 years to come up with this system. So I'm hoping that you will pick and choose elements that work well in your situation. Zone 5 of our food storage is baking and seasoning, and I devoted an entire episode to this, so if you want to see even more detail, I will link to that below. This is how my baking storage started out, so I understand if you hate organizing this area, but what really helped me was to decide the spices and the seasonings that I truly use on a regular basis, and I transferred each of them to one of these small Dollar Tree cubes. These Dollar Tree cubes fit really nicely into their Lucite drawer organizers, and then it was just a matter of creating a lift and level by using those same wire shelves zip tied together. These plastic jars are also from Dollar Tree, and for me, they're the perfect size to hold baking powders and mixes. I also discovered that these Dollar Tree tubs are the perfect size for holding and keeping fresh all my baking mixes and ingredients. Now it's so easy for me to take out what I need and prepare more healthy foods, and the lids keep the food really fresh. I'm so excited about this bonus printable. It's a 5-day emergency food storage list for you. I have compiled ingredients for 5 days of nutritious food for 2 people, which you can modify to your situation, but I've also provided blank sheets that you can fill in as you like. Now, I began this process because I really wanted the peace of mind of knowing that if our electricity went out or something else happened, or if we just got sick and didn't feel like going to the market, I would have a limited supply of food on hand. This little grabber from Dollar Tree came in handy for this project because I decided to use those cupboards that we all have on top of our refrigerators, and they're extremely hard to get to. They were the perfect area to store this emergency food supply. Next, I went to Aldi and stocked up on a few items. Make sure that you check the expiration dates on this emergency food supply because you don't want it to go bad quickly. But Aldi is a perfect spot to stock up on items like this that don't cost much but will give you so much peace of mind. And if you don't have that area above your refrigerator like I do, they also sell these cubes that you can use and put up on a top shelf. And with the use of my little grabby arm, I made really good use of that space with some plastic shoe boxes as well as another wire shelf. Once I figured out this 5-day storage area, no one else really needs to know, but I will tell you that it gives me so much peace of mind. The last and most important step in your emergency food storage is to put a list of all the items along with their expiration date on the side of your refrigerator so you can replace items as they begin to expire. And don't forget, my friends, today is not the end of your story. Keep putting one foot in front of the other.